Hello. Good morning, everybody. I think this is like the first stream I've ever done while I'm working, so I guess that's the benefit of being able to work from home. But I still have to work, guys, so I hope people realize that I still have to work during this stream today. But I'm still going to be here to chime in on everything, what's going on. And yeah, so I have meetings in an hour. So right now the only game that is underway is Toledo and Central Michigan. So I'm gonna turn that on. It looks like I started the stream an hour early. I meant to have the stream start. Wow, there's nobody watching. Wow, I'm gonna wait for more people to join. There's literally 0 viewers right now. Wow. All right, is there anybody here? Is there anybody here? Okay, so it's 4. All right, so 4. I can do 4. Anyway, where I was going is that I started the stream an hour early. I meant to start it at halftime of the MAC championship game, but I read the time wrong, so I started the stream an hour early. So I meant to have a few games already going by the time I started. So I apologize on that. So right now there's only one game going on. It hasn't even started yet. Good morning, Gregory Griffin. But so I have South Park on, and the episode where the Mongolian episode. Everyone, if you've watched South Park over the years, it's the Mongolian episode. You should know what that is. But I just want to say, I mean, there's nobody watching, which is fine. It's 8 a.m. on the West Coast. I mean, a lot of people are at work. People have things to do during the day, so I don't expect to get the people that I usually get from my streams that happen at night. And like I said, I started the stream an hour early on accident. I meant to start it sooner. But anyway, I want to just point out that 2 years ago, not on this exact date 2 years ago, but it was on the Thursday. It was on a Thursday 2 years ago, right? Because I remember that's when everything started shutting down, and it was crazy because I was like, I'm never going to take this for granted again. So we did have a college basketball season last year, but I erase it from my memory because it's not anything that doesn't have fans and heat. When I say heat, it's the energy, emotion, the passion, everything that goes on between fans and a sporting event. How are you doing, Ian Money? But 2 years ago, that's when they started shutting everything down. Like, I'm never going to take this for granted again because, yeah, we had a season last year, but there was no fans in the stands and the stupid socially distanced benches and mask wearing on the benches. And, like, it wasn't real, right? It was not real. So I've pretty much wiped last season from my memory. So, really, this is the first real college basketball postseason we've seen since 2019. And I remember that 2019 season, that was before this channel even existed. I had just moved to San Diego like a month ago. And, I told myself I'm not going to take that for granted again. So I'm very fortunate to be sitting here in this chair today to be able to watch normal college basketball postseason, something that I've enjoyed immensely most of my life, and something I took for granted. I mean, I'm not saying I never I religiously watch college basketball postseason, March Madness, Champ Week, all that since I was probably like 12, maybe even sooner than that, but losing out on it in 2020 and then having I remember saying in 2020, I was like, well, I'd rather, I guess having a March Madness and postseason with no fans is better than nothing at all. But we got that last year in 2021. We got a college basketball postseason with no fans. And honestly, like I said, I want to wipe it from my memory. a completely watered down product. I mean, was it better than nothing at all? I guess, but it still sucked. I mean, I don't count last season at all because the no fans, the no energy, all of that just killed the product. Just like wrestling, I'm a wrestling fan. I'll watch WWE, and the year plus of WWE with no fans and the stupid Thunderdome and all that wasn't real. It was not real at all. And so I remember I went to the first pay-per-view with fans. Not WrestleMania, but Money in the Bank here in Fort Worth. And totally different product. The fans create the energy behind the product. They create the heat behind the product, and it's why it's so important. So like I said, I'm very fortunate to be sitting here in this chair to talk about normal sporting events with fans, with energy, with excitement and passion. So that's what I'm going to say. How am I feeling about TCU and Texas? I mean, we played Texas twice this year, so I went to the game where I went to both games against Texas this year. We played them here in Fort Worth and got absolutely destroyed, which sucked because that's the most energy I've ever seen in my life at a TCU home game before, ever. Before that game, there's probably 4,000 students in attendance, which is very impressive considering there's only about like 8,000 in the student body. The place was packed. So many students showed up that they didn't know where to put them, so they were just everywhere. Standing room, it was crazy. But then Texas got up, they were up by 23 at halftime, I think, and it was never close. But then we played them in Austin. I went to that game a couple of weeks ago, and we were up pretty much the entire game. We had an 11-point lead with 10 minutes left, and then Texas just went on a run. But it's not like they just outplayed us down the stretch. They shot way more free throws than we did down the stretch. So it depends on how the refs call the game. If the refs call the game like they did in Austin, then we're going to be in trouble just because we're not a good free throw shooting team, and Texas is, and that's how they won that game. They just shot 20 more free throws than we did. But I feel like we outplayed them for most of the game. So honestly, on a neutral floor at 11:30 in the morning, we'll see. But it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year, so I do think we have a chance. Yep. Yeah, it's good that you finally caught a live stream, Doc Chack, because like I said, I'm interested to see how many people actually tune into this stream. I usually get 40 people viewing at once on a normal stream at night. So I get it. This stream might not have many viewers. Especially since it's still only 8 a.m. on the West Coast, and a lot of people are at work, living their lives. So, like I said, the reason I'm having the stream today and tomorrow is just I enjoy. This is something I've always done, my entire life, whether I was in high school or middle school, college, working after college, is that I love watching the conference tournament games during the day. While I'm working or while I'm doing things. So that's what I enjoy. So it's fun. And we got some good games this morning, but obviously the key game starts in an hour and a half. Like I said, I meant to start the stream 30 minutes before the TCU-Texas game, not an hour and a half before, but that's on me. So I'm just going to have to find things to talk about until then. I hope that I don't lose everybody. But there's one game going on right now. Like I said, I did the same thing with college football. You notice when I did my college football Saturday streams, it'd usually be it wouldn't be right at when the first game started for the day. It'd usually be 30 minutes after because I want things to be going on to talk about. And right now that's just not the case. We got one game going on. We got the 1 seed in the MAC in action, Toledo, by far and away the best team in the MAC this year. They're playing Central Michigan. Toledo should be fine, but really the top of the MAC is pretty strong this year. You got Toledo, who's the best team, but this is a tournament that's very hard to win for the 1 seed. You have Akron, you have Kent State, you have Ohio. Those teams are all capable of winning the MAC. So Toledo's the favorite, but they don't have it's less than 50% that they actually win this tournament. And so, the MAC is very wide open at the top, but yes, Toledo's the best team. And for those of you who don't know, in these single bid leagues, I usually pull for the best team to win it because I want these single bid leagues to put their best foot forward in the NCAA tournament. And the situation with in the Atlantic Sun with Jacksonville State and Bellarmine and all that, everyone's saying that it's so unfair that Bellarmine is not going to the NCAA tournament. I'm like, how is that unfair? Jacksonville State won the Atlantic Sun outright. They beat Bellarmine twice in the regular season, including a 15-point win at Bellarmine, and they had a much higher Ken Pom and net rating than Bellarmine. So I've always been an advocate. I think it's unfair in college basketball that in these single bid leagues that the tournament winner gets the automatic bid instead of the regular season champ. I do think it's unfair. However, I understand why they do it because the drama, right? It's hard, if you gave out the automatic bid to the regular season champ, you wouldn't have this drama that you have in conference tournaments, which is exciting. And so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Yes, it's very exciting to watch, but at the same time, it's kind of unfair. So I felt bad for Towson, for example. Like Towson and the Colonial, by far the best team in that league this year. And they proved it over the span of 18 conference games. But because they had one bad night against Delaware, who is, honestly, I watched that game, who was just jacking up threes, playing gimmick defenses and stuff like a bunch of Delaware committed to a very high risk, high reward approach to beat Towson, something that you would not see in the regular season, and Towson just couldn't overcome it. And that's what you see in these single bid leagues, is that teams like Delaware that finished 5th place throw out these high risk, high reward approaches to win, to advance. And I feel bad for teams like Towson that proved themselves over 18 games, that had one bad night, and now they're going to go to the NIT instead of the NCAA tournament. But, it creates drama. It's definitely entertaining, I'll tell you that. So, anyway. Connor McRae says, I totally agree with you. That's why I'm interested as to why you don't want to attempt your model again this year, knowing you had success in the past. I mean, the main reason I didn't attempt a college basketball model this year is just I didn't have the time and I didn't feel like it. It takes a lot of effort, guys, especially the one I had last year. A lot of effort, and I just didn't feel like it, especially when when I was training for a marathon, having to work. I have a lot on my plate, and honestly, doing a model is stressful. It's not something you do to unwind. So after a long day of working and marathon training and gym and all that, the last thing I want to do is more stress. So that's why I didn't do it. But also, Connor McRae touched upon a good point, and that is a good model is going to utilize past data to predict future behavior. So how are you going to use 2021 data? You can't. It wasn't real basketball. Real basketball has fans in the stands. It doesn't have It doesn't have games being canceled every week and socially distanced fans and benches, masks, and all that. You can't. And a lot of these teams last year, I ran into this problem with my college football model this year. A lot of these teams didn't really play non-conference schedules to help really gauge conference strength. And yeah, remember Colgate last year? They only played 4 teams the entire season before the NCAA tournament, so no one really knew how good they were. That was a great so you can't really use 2021 data for a model, so you have to go back to using 2020, 2019, all that. So yeah, Doc Check, I usually have these streams on Wednesday nights at around 7:30 Central, but this is a different week. This is my big week. College basketball champ week, NCAA tournament, March Madness. That's where I had the most enjoyment. Yeah, I think if you hit the bell, Doc Check, that it'll show it. Why do I have dirty socks on the wall? I don't. I have my gloves from TCU football, and I have my pants that we wore in the Rose Bowl. The football pants on the wall. Those aren't socks. Yep, Doc Check, so you understand. So Doc Check, you'll agree with me that a sports betting model is not something you do to unwind. It's definitely more stress. It adds stress. It does not take away from stress. So the last thing I want to do after a long day at work and marathon training and gym and all that is more stress, right? I just remember my college football model got to a point where it became so stressful, I even stopped doing it for a while, because I've always said that unless you're paying for data, you're paying tens of thousands of dollars for data, any sports betting model is going to be a giant house of cards, and it doesn't take much to topple it. So I remember at one point, ESPN changed their API for their scoreboard that I used for that Excel spreadsheet I used to have that I would use to project games and everything. And I was like, I just don't feel like messing with that. It's a house of cards. If you're scraping data or using unreliable data sources, it doesn't take much to torpedo all of it. So anyway, Indiana and Michigan is going to start in 15 minutes, and that's going to be an interesting game. I don't think Michigan is a bubble team, especially with Xavier and Wake Forest losing last night. I don't think Michigan is a bubble team in the sense of being if they lose this game, they're out. But Indiana definitely has to win this game to be in. Definitely. Honestly, I don't see. If it was Indiana State instead of Indiana with the same exact resume, we wouldn't be talking about them as a bubble team. They'd be out. I'm telling you, the name on the front of your jersey does matter when it comes to NCAA selection. It absolutely does. You can prove that with data. You can. But I mean, I'm looking at Indiana's resume. They have a win over Notre Dame. They have a win over Ohio State. They did beat Purdue at home. But they've pretty much done absolutely nothing since beating Purdue at home on January 20th. Since then, they've won 4 games. And they've lost... they're 4-8 since beating Purdue at home on January 20th. Those 4 wins, none of them are over NCAA tournament teams. They've lost to teams that are not going to be in the tournament, like Northwestern. And they have to beat Michigan today. I'm sorry. 18-12, 9-11, having done nothing in 8 weeks. You got to beat Michigan today. And even if they do beat Michigan, I still think they have work to do after that. I am sorry, but this is just... Their non-conference schedule really wasn't that strong. Outside of Notre Dame, they didn't really play anybody any good. What does KenPom rank their non-conference strength of schedule? So on KenPom, they're ranked 44, and their non-conference strength of schedule 321. So the NCAA selection committee loves to make examples out of teams that had bad non-conference strength of schedules. We see it every single year. Usually on Selection Sunday, they'll release the bracket, and then CBS will interview the head of the selection committee. And every year they'll ask, why was this team left out? And every year the selection committee chair is like, we feel like their non-conference strength of schedule is not good enough every year. And so bubble teams with bad non-conference strength of schedules this year include Wake Forest, number 351. So that is a bottom 10 non-conference strength of schedule. And they lost last night to Boston College. A lot of people are like, 23 wins in the ACC should get you in. But the ACC was bad this year. Number 6 conference in net, the number 6 conference. And outside of Duke, they didn't really have any top-tier teams. And so Wake Forest, non-conference schedule 351, they're a great example of a team that could be left out because of their bad strength of schedule. Indiana, we just talked about them. Just looking down the line at teams with bad non-conference strength of schedule. Rutgers, number 355, that is a bottom 5 strength of schedule. So I'm sorry, but if Rutgers loses today, I'm not so sure they get in. At bottom 5 non-conference strength of schedule, they have some pretty bad losses. They lost to DePaul, Lafayette from the Patriot League, UMass. Yeah, those are 3 bad non-conference losses. So they played a bad non-conference strength of schedule, and they still lost to 3 bad teams. However, they do have some good wins. They did beat Purdue. They did beat Michigan. They beat Iowa. They beat Michigan State, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Illinois, 4 straight games. So they do have good wins. But the question is, if they lose tomorrow, I don't know who they'll play tomorrow, but if they lose tomorrow, I'm not so sure. Like I said, the selection committee loves to make examples, and they might be an example of a team that could be left out. Ian Money wants to know, whatever happened with the trouble you got in Las Vegas? So that my court case is still being adjudicated. But here's the deal. I think by law they can only. So what keeps happening is the the district attorney keeps requesting for additional time to review my case, right? But after 1 year, they cannot request any more time, right? They have to shit or get off the pot. So my incident happened on April 17th last year. So they basically have 1 more month until they have to be like, okay, we're going to take this to court. I'm not going to give any more details on that just because, I don't want my lawyer calling me up and being like, hey, so I'm going to wait until the case is done before I'll talk about it. But trust me, when that happens, I will make a video on what happened. I will. Yeah, that's a good thing, Doc Chack, about the NFL is that you have a strong community when it comes to being able to get data, unlike some college sports. Zodwick wants to know, does Dayton need to get to Sunday to be in, or are they in with the win tomorrow? So Dayton's an interesting case. They have pretty good metrics. They're a top 50 team in the net. Let me look at their resume. I'm usually good at this. I remember when Joe Lunardi first came on the scene in like 2002, right? I was 13 years old, and I got really into like bracketology and I was 13, but I got really into like RPI, and like I would do my own bracketology projections. So I know, like, I can look at a resume and like be able to tell you what the deal is, right? So Dayton, they have 2 quad 1 wins, with their big one being a neutral site win over Kansas. Their other quad 1 win is, I'm guessing it's Davidson, but let me just double check. No, Davidson at home was quad 2. Their other quad 1 win was at VCU on February 2nd. So honestly, not that impressive. Why is my website freezing up? But anyway, looking at the problem with Dayton is they have 3 very bad non-conference losses: UMass Lowell, Lipscomb, and Austin P. I mean, those are all quad 4 losses, and all of them were at home. So looking at their resume, I mean, the Kansas one was big. They did beat Virginia Tech, another team that they're ahead of on the bubble, but they lost to SMU, a team that they're on the bubble with. So they have a bad loss to George Mason and LaSalle. So honestly, the way I see it is, what is their schedule looking like? I need to know what the Atlantic 10 bracket looks like. I need to see who they have a chance to play. Because that's what you want to know, why the ACC and the Big Ten and these bigger conferences have these complex brackets that they have. It's so they can get their bubble teams additional wins. It's set up like that to, like I said, get their bubble teams additional wins, which is why they have like triple buys and double buys and all that. And so it really all depends on who Dayton can play. The problem is that tomorrow they would play either George Washington or UMass. That's not going to move the needle. And then if they win that game, they have a chance to play VCU, who's a fellow bubble team. I think that would be a bubble elimination game. But I do think if Dayton gets to Sunday and they play Davidson, I think they should be fine. But if they play St. Bonaventure or St. Louis or someone like that, it's a different story. But here's the deal. They are a classic. I think if they get to Sunday, it's 50-50. If they get to Sunday, it's 50-50. Obviously, if they win Sunday, they're in. But I think if they lose to VCU, they're out. So, yes, I think they need to get to Sunday to be in the conversation. Absolutely. All right, so 12 minutes in. Toledo's only up by 1. But you usually see that with these. Like I said, I believe there's nothing harder than a team that easily, I'm not talking about there's nothing harder than a clear-cut number 1 seed in these single-bid conference tournaments having to win these conference tournaments. All the pressure is on them. They are tight. It's hard. So you have these Toledo, by far and away the best team in the MAC. All the pressure's on them, so they're only up by 1. But I remember last weekend watching Longwood in the Big South. Like, Longwood won the Big South by like 6 games, and it wasn't even close. Easily the best team in the Big South. In their quarterfinal game last Friday against North Carolina A&T, they were losing the entire game, and you could just tell the body language, facial expressions of these Longwood players was like all the pressure is on them. They were so tight and so tense. They're losing the entire game. I mean, I remember like during one timeout, their players looked like they wanted to cry. And if it wasn't for North Carolina A&T missing a couple of free throws at the end of regulation and the game going to overtime, Longwood loses in the quarterfinal to the 9th place team in the Big South. And so it's just it's asking too much, I think, of these teams like Toledo to basically do it all over again. And I just think it's more fair to reward teams like Toledo with the automatic bid for proving it over 2 months instead of 3 days, right? But you saw that with Towson. Delaware threw out a junk defense against them, and they had, when I say junk defense, the best example of a junk defense in basketball is the triangle and 2. It's where you play man on 2 players and then a triangle zone with the other 3. So pretty much if like a team has 2 good guards, for example, you play man coverage on those 2 guards, and then you run a triangle zone with the other. So Delaware didn't do a triangle and 2 against Towson, but they did throw out like a box and 1 at times, a diamond and 1, and zone defenses that Towson was not prepared for, weren't used to, and they had no idea how to react. And also Towson made their bones this year by being a great 3-point shooting team. And they went like 4 of 27 against Delaware. So they just had a bad night, and it wasn't fair. Towson proved themselves over the regular season, yet they're going to the NIT because they had one bad night. And I just think it's tough for these teams like Toledo. I'm not watching the game between Toledo and Central Michigan. It's on ESPN Plus, which I do have, but I'm just too lazy to install ESPN Plus on my TV over here. I do have it on my main TV in the living room, but I guarantee you if I were to tune in, Toledo would look very tight, and Central Michigan is probably doing things to mess with them mentally. So we got the Big Ten game at the top of starting in a couple of minutes between Indiana and Michigan. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to make that the key game that we're focusing on. So Chicken Keeper asks, off-topic question. I'm outside of the U.S. but thinking of traveling there. Is it possible to do some sightseeing in the U.S. without being vaccinated? So I'm pretty sure, Chicken Keeper, unfortunately, that you have to be vaccinated to get in from out of the country. Which I think is stupid. I'm 100% against any vaccine mandate. I am. So unfortunately, I don't even think you'll be able to get in. But if you were to get here, honestly, Chicken Keeper, if you really want to come to the U.S., go to the southern border in Mexico and just walk right across. They'll probably sign you up to vote and sign you up for welfare benefits. So that's probably the best way to do it, Chicken Keeper. But I'm joking. But anyway, it's true. I mean, it's true. But once you get in, though, I think the only places with vaccine mandates that still exist are in Chicago and maybe San Francisco. But I would just avoid California and New York, and you'd be able to do a lot of sightseeing. Yep. Gregory Griffin, Big East tournaments. What do you think about the games today? Let's see what we got. We got Butler and Providence. I mean, Butler won last night. They might have knocked Xavier out of the field, but Providence, they're not going to. Providence, lucky team. Number 1 team in luck, according to KenPom, is Providence. So the luck metric on KenPom, how it's calculated is that it calculates your expected winning percentage based on your stats, and then it calculates your actual win percentage. So Providence 24-4, but according to their stats, they should be a little bit worse than that. So basically what that means is they've won a lot of close games. They've won a lot of... It's pretty much a measure of how good you are in close games and stuff like that. The metrics, the metrics can project, but how you've actually done. Marquette and Creighton, I think Marquette is in win or lose. Creighton, both those teams are in win or lose, so that's probably just going to be a good game. Typical game between 2 close teams. Villanova should be fine against St. John's. A lot of people are like, oh, home court advantage, St. John's. It's true. I mean, they do play at Madison Square Garden, but it's never really manifested with them. And then Seton Hall and UConn, both of those teams are in. It should be a good game. There's really not a lot at stake in any of these games, though. That's really why I like these early round conference tournament games and the quarterfinals in these big conferences, because you usually have a lot of bubble teams playing. Which is why I'm interested in Indiana and Michigan. But there's really no games being played today that have bubble implications in the Big East. So honestly, you just sit back and watch them to enjoy them. Going to the Big East tournament was always a bucket list item of mine. The old Big East. The new one, I don't really care much for it. I never was able to do it. I did, however, go to the MAC tournament in Cleveland in 2008, and it was a good event. That was when Kent State won it. And that's the problem the MAC has had, is that the MAC has not gotten an at-large bid since 1999. And you think that it's not like the MAC is a low major. They're not a high major, but they're not a low major. So it's very surprising that they've been a one-bid league for the past 23 years. The problem is every year the MAC has had an at-large worthy team, they end up winning the automatic bid. In 2008, Kent State would have gotten an at-large bid if they had not won the MAC tournament, but they did. 3 years ago with Buffalo would have been an at-large team had they lost in the MAC tournament, but they won the MAC tournament. So they've almost been like their own worst enemy, is that the MAC's best teams end up winning the automatic bid when they do have an at-large worthy team. And we've seen that. There's been 2 conferences this year that would have been multi-bid leagues, but their at-large candidates won. We saw that in the Ohio Valley with Murray State, and I think the refs carried Murray State across the finish line. And we saw that in the Missouri Valley with Loyola. But here's the problem. As a lot of people are like, well, why don't these single bid leagues, why don't they pay off their refs to make it hard so they get multiple teams? And it's actually the opposite. These single bid leagues would rather have one team that's good and protected than 2 teams get in. We saw the Horizon League protect Butler. We've seen the West Coast Conference protect Gonzaga. And these conferences get money based on how many wins they get in the tournament, not how many teams they get in the tournament. So they would rather build up one really good team that has a chance to win a game or 2 than send 2 teams that both lose their first round games. I think it's dumb too, but that's why you see these leagues protect their best teams rather than try to get more teams in. When it comes to at-large worthy teams. All right, Juwan Howard is back. K. Bono wants to know, I have a question about preseason analysis and in-season analysis. I refer to your last video. How do you integrate that into your model? Is it just additional data points? Well, that's a great question. Preseason and in-season analysis is by far the hardest part of doing a model. It's really just using past data and trying to find ways to project what's going to happen. I mean, it's more complicated than being able to answer that question on the stream. And my opinion on arbitrage betting can be found in the many videos I've done. Yep, Doc Chack, that's a good answer. But anyway, I do have work meetings at the top of the hour, and I still have to work. Guys, I'm still working right now while I'm talking. But when I'm in my work meetings, I will not be talking. I might type in the chat like this. To react to what's going on, but I have meetings at the top of the hour, so not much I can do there. It is what it is. I'm still working right now, guys. I'm still doing work at this very moment. So, anyway. This is my work laptop right here. So, I work in consulting, so I don't have any client calls today. But I do have internal meetings, so it's a crazy. Okay, so Toledo's taking the lead. We'll see if they can pull away. As much nerves as there is with Toledo in this game, Central Michigan's not good, so they should be fine. But I would be very worried if I was Toledo in the semifinals and finals if they get there. I mean, Buffalo and Akron both very capable of beating them. Who are Toledo's 3 losses to this year in the MAC? They lost to Kent State on the road, Ball State on the road, and Kent State at home. So Kent State swept them. So fortunately for Toledo, Kent State's on the other side of the bracket. But Toledo, the only good team they really played in non-conference was Michigan State, and they lost by 13. But they're the best team in the MAC. But Buffalo and Akron, they did not lose to either of those teams this year, who they play in the semifinals. So, all right. I went to the Big Ten tournament in 2010. That was the year where... So when I was in college on spring break, like all my friends would like do things like go to the beach or whatever. I would go to conference tournaments for college basketball. So that was the tournament when Ohio State and Michigan played a quarterfinal game, and Evan Turner hit like a half-court shot at the buzzer to win. And Minnesota made it to the final against Ohio State and lost. So Minnesota had kind of like a Cinderella run because they played on the first day, and if you play on the first day, and that was back when they only had 11 teams. But if you're playing on the first day, you're a bubble team or you're not in. And they made it from the first day to the final, but Ohio State beat them in the final. And it was at Bankers Life Fieldhouse is a great venue. I think they should have it there every year. I hate when the Big Ten plays their conference tournament at the United Center in Chicago. It's not a good venue. And also they played it one year. Didn't they play it in Washington, D.C.? That's dumb. Like, they should play it every year in Indianapolis at Bankers Life. Great basketball venue. It's not a multi-purpose venue. So you have all these other venues like United Center. It's also does hockey. Bankers Life Fieldhouse is 100% basketball. So even in the nosebleeds where I was sitting, as a poor college student, you felt like you're on top of the action. Bankers Life is a great venue. They need to have it there every year. Yeah, that's what I did for spring breaks. I went to college basketball conference tournaments. That's what I did. I went to the Mountain West so as soon as I turned 21, not as soon as I turned 21, but the first chance I got to go to Las Vegas and legally be able to bet, I was not allowed to bet being an NCAA athlete, so 2011, 2012, I went to the Mountain West, so I go to Las Vegas. And had a good time. All right, so Michigan and Indiana is underway. I don't even know if anyone I work with knows I have a YouTube channel. So how do they know I'm streaming while working? I mean, I don't know. But tomorrow I'm going to stream twice. So I'm going to stream like I am right now, and then I'm going to take a break, and then I'll come back for the night games, and I'll go until I feel like stopping. Saturday I'm going to go all day, but I'm going to start at like 12:30 my time on Saturday, I think. I'm not going to start at the very beginning of the America East Conference. I'm not. Plus, I have to work out on Saturday as well. I'm training. I'm going to start training for an Ironman triathlon pretty soon. I'm doing a 5-week post-marathon training plan right now, and then once that's over, I'm probably going to start training for an Ironman. But I bought my bike yesterday for the triathlon. I didn't buy a triathlon specific bike. I bought a road bike. I mean, I already have a mountain bike, but it's not useful for long distances or speed. So hopefully this road bike I'll be able to go faster on and go longer on. It was after tax. It was like $19.50. Which is a lot of money for a bike, but if I'm going to do an Ironman, that's your biggest expense as a bike. I don't have it yet though. I don't have it. Like I bought the bike yesterday, but they need to assemble it. I bought it at a triathlon shop called PlayTry. They need to assemble it, and then I need to go in and get it fitted. So I told them I paid for it yesterday though. So they need to assemble it, put it together. Some of these bikes that people use for triathlons are like 10 grand. Like I was in that triathlon shop yesterday and they had like bikes, 5-figure bikes. And I'm like, that's absolutely ridiculous. And I was like, I asked the guy, I said, why would anyone pay that much for a bike? And he's like, if you're a rich doctor and lawyer and want to win a medal or hit the podium at a triathlon, then you pay that much for a bike. But he told me, I was like, if you haven't been doing this, I mean, he's like, if you're just new to triathlons and haven't done an Ironman before and everything like that, there's no need to spend more than $2,000 on a bike. You don't even know if you'll like it. You don't know if it's something you'll do like long term, and you're not going to be anywhere near the podium as a beginner. So there's no point in spending so much on a bike. He's like, just get a road bike for under $2,000, see how you like doing triathlons, and if you get to the point one day where you're starting to look to seriously compete for prize money and podium positions, then yeah, you might want to spend more on a bike. But otherwise, anyway. I haven't swam I did some swimming in 2020, but I haven't really. Swimming's definitely going to be the area I have the most room to grow, and I'll do most of my swimming at my gym, but they say you need to do open water swimming, and open water swimming around here scares me because of all the snakes in the water. So when I go back and get my bike fitting, I'm going to ask the guys, like, where can you open water swim around here without having to worry about snakes? Because there's water moccasins in all the lakes and rivers around here. Yeah, I'm not surprised that Bruce Weber resigned from Kansas State. That program has hit a wall, and interesting to see who they're going to hire. So obviously the one name they're going to talk about is Brad Underwood at Illinois because he's he's a Kansas State alum, but I just don't know if he's going to leave Illinois. They're going to have to probably pay him $4 million, and Kansas State's not known for paying for coaches. So the three names I have heard that Kansas State is going to go after are Henderson at South Dakota State, Brian Wardle at Bradley, and Dave Richmond at North Dakota State. Those are going to be your top three right now, but we'll see. I mean, those are head coaches. I mean, there's always assistants and everything, but you never really hear about assistants until assistants are not obvious names this early in a coaching search. All right, we're going to come to the first under media timeout. So did anyone bet on this Indiana-Michigan game? What was the line? I'm also interested to see what the Central Michigan-Toledo line was as well. I kind of feel bad because Toledo's not playing well right now. Toledo minus 17, and at halftime, they're down by 2. So if you played the money line, Central Michigan first half money line, congrats. You are a winner. What do I do at work? I mean, I'm a consultant, so it's really, I do analytics and modeling consulting for companies. In my past line of work, I did media and political consulting but I was on the TV. So I worked for broadcast companies in my last line of work, but I did media, marketing, and political consulting on that side. Now I work for a consulting firm and I do analytics, audience measurement, and modeling consulting for the companies that pay us for the services. Michigan minus 3, and they're up by 3 right now. I mean, it's early, but I wonder what the Central Michigan first half money line was. I mean, what was the... Trying to find that information right now. Please bear with me. I can't find it. I mean, I imagine... I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. So Toledo was a plus 900 first half. Plus 900. That's one element I'm not going to have on these streams is I'm not going to have my live betting spreadsheet that I've had in the past. But so far, what I've seen, they haven't even done the under 16 timeout yet. So Indiana had to finally call a timeout. Crazy. So good start for Michigan. And that's the thing. Indiana's going to bring a lot. When I went to the Big Ten tournament in 2010, Indiana and Purdue had the most fans there. And that's because obviously they're in Indiana. But Indiana's going to have the crowd. And so far, so bad. I said it at the time, I was never a fan of Indiana's coaching hire. I just don't think hiring NBA coaches is a good idea in the college. It's two different games. They hired an NBA coach. I just don't see it working out. Can I do a video on Steve Stevens, the bookie killer? I probably will one day. I'm not, I'm an analytics and modeling consultant, so kind of. I'm just not a big fan of analytics in sports. I'm not, and that might surprise some of you guys, but there's such a big human element in sports that I think is more important. The thing is, K-Bono 100, I'm banned from Discord. If I try to create a new account on Reddit or Discord, I get banned. Too much. They just don't like wrongthink. So I might try one day, K-Bono 100. But I just don't like these communities that ban you for wrongthink. I don't. All right, I have a work meeting in 12 minutes. So like I said, the stream will continue, but I will just have to type instead of talk. Hope you guys are okay with that. I hope I don't bleed viewers. I have a thing. I am currently in a work meeting. I'm going to add to this. We'll type instead of talk. So this is what's going to be on the screen while I'm in my work meeting. All right. Telegram's probably better, but harder to build a community on there. I was thinking about creating a locals page. You're seeing a lot of creators these days making locals communities, which I think is the best way to go. They're not going to shut you down for wrongthink. So inflation rose 7.9% over the last 12 months. It's higher than that. Trust me, it's higher than 7.9%. But what drives me nuts is that the House of Representatives last night passed a $1.5 trillion spending bill. $1.5 trillion we do not have, by the way. What do you think is the main cause of inflation? Runaway government spending and money printing. And yet, what did we do last night? We did even more of that last night. Great, gonna make the problem worse. And my senator, I live in Texas, so I have two Republican senators, but one of them is absolutely useless, John Cornyn. I called his office last night to ask why he supports spending money we don't have during a time of runaway inflation that's gonna make the inflation problem worse. And the intern that answered the phone gave me a bunch of canned, stupid talking points. About why this is worth it, blah, 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 and it made me ill. So inflation's going to keep getting worse as long as our idiots in Congress continue to pass these massive spending bills, guys. There is a direct correlation. Yeah, I'm going to be live Eagles 01 during my work meetings. I'm just not going to be talking. I'm going to be typing. So I hope, like I said, I hope you guys don't bail on me during my work meeting. It's gonna last for an hour. It starts in 9 minutes. Indiana's 4 of 13 from the field right now. Maybe that block will get them going. As of right now, I have no work meeting scheduled tomorrow, so things should go a bit smoother tomorrow. But what worries me is that the main game I'm interested in during the stream, TCU and Texas, is it starts at 11:30, so it's going to be absorbed by a couple of work meetings I have. And one of the work meetings, the first work meeting I have today, is more passive, meaning it's more of like a team call where I'm going to mostly be listening. But the work meeting I have at 12:30, I'm going to be very engaged. So I'm not going to be paying as much attention. All right, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's people trying to impersonate me. Gosh, I need like a pair of pliers to make this microphone mount stay. Like, this is the thing that makes it stay, but it's just hard to turn. Anyway, there's people trying to impersonate me. YouTube emailed me yesterday saying that there's videos of mine were re-uploaded on another channel called Bird Feeder Cam. So obviously the same trolls from last year are trying to impersonate me this year. So I am not doing any stream of any kind for the first 2 days of March Madness. Maybe I'll do one for later rounds, but the first round, next Thursday and Friday, I'm not going to be doing any streams. No Bird Feeder Cam, no stream, no nothing, guys. So anything you see for people saying Bird Feeder Cam or Sports Betting Truth for next Thursday and Friday is fake. Report it. But anyway, I had that fake Bird Feeder Cam channel from yesterday, I had to copyright strike them. I will be doing no streams of any kind for the first. I might not do it for March Madness at all, but guaranteed next Thursday and Friday for the first round, I am not going to be streaming. I will be planted firmly on my couch out in the living room, watching and cooking and eating. Does anyone else have their next Thursday and Friday off from work? I do. Right, Keith Davis? He who dies with the most debt wins. It drives me nuts. Like, everyone's complaining about inflation, and yet they vote in these politicians that are making it worse by passing these spending bills that are contributing to the problem. Deficit spending and massive government spending has a direct correlation with inflation. And I guarantee you, Keith Davis. I guarantee you, if I went back and listened to John Cornyn's campaign ads and interviews on the radio and TV when he was running for re-election a couple years ago, I guarantee you he ran on a platform of cutting government spending. $14 billion to Ukraine. How much of that $14 billion to Ukraine is actually going to be used to aid Ukraine? And my prediction, probably not much. I've explained it before on this channel, but foreign aid is a money laundering scam. You send it's a way for Congress to launder money. So they send the foreign aid to foreign countries and then it gets kicked back to them. That's how it works. None of that $14 billion is going to be used to actually aid Ukraine. But anyway, this stream is not about Ukraine. It's about basketball. Oh yeah, Ahmed. There's an image that I got sent to me that I thought was kind of funny. Maybe I can put it on the screen for you guys if I still have it. I hope I still have it. Maybe I don't. Oh, I do have it. I do have it. So I'm going to put this on the screen for you guys. It'll be the last thing I do before my work meeting. Hang on a sec. But it's so true. It's a good argument against people who say it's all about corporate greed. There's a chance that TCU could be playing in the San Diego pod, by the way, at D-Such. All right, where is this? This is for anybody who says that inflation's about corporate greed. Where is that image? All right, I'm going to see if you guys can see this. All right, let me, whoops. How do I make this smaller? Dang it, my monitor's not set up for the display right now. Anyway, this is the consumer price index graph, and it's like, it's funny because if it was all about corporate greed, then why are corporations just now being greedy? Why aren't they greedy over like the past 4 years when Donald Trump was president? Why aren't they greedy? Like, why are they just now starting to be greedy, right? It's like their greed comes in cycles. Exactly. Ahmed gets it. Ahmed gets it because NGOs, which stands for non-government organizations, are the middlemen here. So, for example, UN Food Aid in Ethiopia. So Congress sends money to Ethiopia. The Ethiopian politicians give it to the NGOs, and then the NGOs kick it back to the politicians. That's exactly how it works. Ahmed is absolutely right. Absolutely right. Oh, Kbono 100, it's because my monitor has these like quadrants and I just don't want to turn them off. But anyway. Anyway, I have a work meeting, guys, so I'm going to be muting my microphone, but I'll still be here to type in the chat. So I might turn my microphone on at times, but anyway, I will be back when this meeting's over in an hour. I'll still be here, though.
Great protection.
All right, I know I'm still in a meeting, but I'm going to narrate the end of the Central Michigan game. 18 on the shot clock. Central Michigan gets a wide open guy under the basket. They're up. There's going to be 21 seconds for Toledo here to take the lead. I told you they're going to pull an Iona. Same exact score as the Iona game last night as well. Iona lost 71-70 to the 9 seed. Toledo to the basket. He made it. All right, so unlike Iona last night, Toledo, 10 seconds for Central Michigan and timeout Toledo. There's going to be 10 seconds for Central Michigan. I'm telling you guys, too much pressure on these teams like Toledo. Too much pressure. However, that was a nice runner the Toledo player just made. But, man, total breakdown on defense for Toledo. Wide open guy for the dunk for Central Michigan. But that was not a high percentage shot Toledo just made. He just kind of floated it in the lane, and it went in. So they got pretty lucky there. That's probably not the shot they wanted, but it went in, unlike Iona last night, who lost in the quarterfinals. I'm telling you, too much pressure for these one seeds. And even though Toledo's up right now, they're, oh man, like just looking at their facial expressions, like there's people biting their nail. They have players biting their nails right now. I mean, like crazy stuff. No, what they're talking about in the meeting right now is stuff that I have already. It's already been presented to me. They're just presenting to other people right now, so I can afford to narrate the end of this MAC tournament quarterfinal. Man, that was ridiculous. Not a high percentage shot that Toledo took the lead with, but Central Michigan's going to have 10 seconds to win this game. And like I said this when the game started. If you guys, those of you tuned in at the beginning of the stream, I told you guys Toledo's 17-point favorite. I said all the pressure's on them. They're going to play very tight. Not just like Iona last night. So I would not be surprised if Central Michigan wins this game. I don't want them to. Toledo's been by far the best team in the MAC all year. It'd be very unfair for them to go 17-3 in league play and lose to a team that went 7-22 on the year. But that's what the MAC wants. That's how these conference tournaments work. It's all the pressure is on Toledo from the tip, and it's hard to play with that kind of tense pressure. You can see it in their body language. You can see it in their facial expressions. All right, so Toledo's they're going to press. Oh, Central Michigan turned the ball over? They turned it over. Wow, Central Michigan could not get the ball in bounds. So the decision to press for Toledo paid off. Wow. I was like, so they're really going to press? I'm like, they're really going to press? But they're going to review this. Yeah, it went off the knee of the Central Michigan player. Went off his knee. Yep. So they might review it, but that was definitely off Central Michigan. They could not get the ball in bounds. So the decision to press. Man, TCU just missed 2 free throws. We're up by 2 right now, but we should be up by 10. With the way we're rebounding. Okay, 3-pointer from TCU in. All right, we're up by 5. Yep. But man, full court press. I was surprised that they were pressing. You saw the hesitancy in my voice, right? I was like, they're really going to press, but it paid off. They couldn't get the ball in bounds. Like they tried to get it to the Central Michigan player, but the Toledo player deflected it off his knee and went out of bounds. Here's a 3 for Texas. Dang it. We're on a 10-0 run, but that'll end it. Like, we are totally killing them in physicality and rebounding, but just can't make shots. Like, we already have 10 offensive rebounds, and it's only 10 minutes into the game. But field goal percentage is bad. And we're turning the ball over like that. I think 6 turnovers already. Oh, they gave it back. Oh, yeah, I was about to say, Toledo has the ball now, but they had to inbound under their basket. And Toledo's going to go to the line. See, we're missing. We just had a fast break, and he misses the layup. TCU. We're missing so many high percentage looks today. Fast break missed. Missed the layup. All right, so Toledo, they still got to hit your free throws here. You don't want to leave the door open. You need to hit these both. I don't know what number 5 for Toledo shoots free throw percentage-wise. They haven't told us yet. First free throw is short. Okay, so he missed the front. It was a one-on-one, too. So Central Michigan is going to shoot a three. Banked, no good. Toledo wins. I'm surprised they didn't call a foul on that three. I think he might have been fouled, but Toledo wins by 1. I'm going to mute the rest of this call until this meeting's over. But, yeah, I had to narrate that. I'm going to mute, guys. Going back to the chat. All right, work meeting's over. Maybe people will rejoin the stream. But these refs in this TCU game, I know it's cliche for me to complain about refs, but what I'm saying is that they're letting both teams play. How is that? So, geez, I need something to make it stay. But they're letting both teams play, and that's causing us to miss a lot of easy, high percentage shots. But anyway, that ending to that Central Michigan game was, woo. Toledo is very lucky to be. But anyway, good news is that my work meeting in 30 minutes got moved to tomorrow. So I'm good and bad news. I'm going to have to find time to do that tomorrow. I had no meetings tomorrow. Man, Mike Miles, who's our top scorer, is not having a good game so far. He is off. Yep. All right, so what is going on right now? So Indiana looks done. Syracuse is up by 4 at half. I think everybody's, because remember when they were down by 8 to start off the game? I was like, are they just going to give up? But no, they didn't. So good for them. But it looks like they're just hitting a lot of shots. And maybe Duke isn't that good. I mean, North Carolina did a good job on them last Saturday, and now Syracuse is. So Duke has some defensive issues, it looks like. Flop. Call a flop on Texas, please. Man, Mike Miles needs to come out of the game. His last 2 shots, he airballed a 3 and he shot the basketball behind the backboard. How do you shoot the ball behind the backboard? But he needs to come out. He is way off. Butler and Providence tied at halftime. Not surprised there. Providence, it doesn't matter who they're playing, whether it's a good team or a bad team. They're always going to have a close game if they win. Florida is down by 10 against Texas A&M. Did anybody bet on George Mason and Fordham? I hate when we don't rebound. We've done a good job rebounding all day, but we don't rebound a missed free throw. We've done a good job forcing turnovers, though. All right, we just got an and one. I need to find a time to reschedule this meeting for tomorrow. I mean, it's fine that I don't have any more meetings today. I still need to work, though. Still need to work. We can't make free throws either, so we made that one, though. So we're down by 1. I mean, we should be up by 10. We are out hustling them, out physicaling them. They're just can't get out of our own way. Okay, so we got... Okay, so Indiana might not be completely done. They've cut it to 10. They're down by 18, but they've cut it to 10. So they might have some life. Poor Indiana fans. They thought this was their year, especially after they beat Purdue for the first time in 5 years. They really thought this was it for them, but nope. They've been bad for a while now. He stepped on the baseline, ref. Come on, he was out. Number 30 for Texas stepped out of bounds, and the ref totally missed it. How do you miss that? Especially because the ref is standing on the baseline. Like, how do you miss a guy stepping out of bounds? I have to schedule a meeting for tomorrow. Anybody else working right now? Man. Need to find out a good time to schedule that meeting for tomorrow. We're not taking very good. We were taking good shots, but not anymore. Oh, come on. Man, a lot of games at halftime right now. Okay, so Indiana's making a little bit of a run. I'm gonna put that game on my secondary screen, just to see if Indiana can make it interesting. I know I've been doing this a lot, but I need to take another quick bathroom break. Hang on one second. All right, there's the Indiana game. All right, I'll be right back.
Point game. See, that energy makes up for mistakes.
I need to mute that.
Get the hoop. Look at this.
And Finney diving into the scorer's table.
Looks like my body's finally getting rid of all the sodium. That's why I've gone to the bathroom so many times. Like, I've eaten at a caloric deficit the past few days, but I've actually gone up in weight on the scale. I'm guessing it's because of my body's holding onto the sodium. Man, Michigan couldn't inbound the ball. Indiana, oh, he missed the fast break. He missed the fast break. Indiana could have cut it to 6, and number 32 missed the fast break layup. Man, that could have been a... so, yeah, Indiana was down by 17, and that's when I said they're done, but they had a chance to cut it to 6 there and blew it. Plenty of time, though. Oh, is that not a moving screen on Michigan? I think Indiana got hosed there. That looked like a moving screen to me. Oh, yeah, number 23, moving screen, big time. Come on. Instead, they called the foul on the guy who got hit by the moving screen. Okay, Indiana gets the end one. They can cut it to 7 here. I'm not cooking anything today. I'm not cooking anything, and nope. I shall cook nothing today. Oh, Indiana missed the free throw, but they got the rebound. Oh, and he turned 32. Man, you're not having a good 32. Misses the fast break layup, and then he just turns the ball over. Who's 32 for Indiana? I don't know his name. No. When this stream's over and I'm done with work today, I'm going to go to the gym. And I mean, I cook my food during the week. It's just I'm not cooking anything exciting. So yeah, technically, I guess I'll cook something. It's just not good. It's just going to be boring food. Okay, now it's a 6-point game. Man, we are just playing like garbage. Ever since we got up by 5, it's just been a total train wreck. Okay, Indiana can cut it to 3. Has anyone ever had a papadilla from Papa John's? Thoughts on North Carolina, Virginia? Honestly, I don't. Virginia's just not a good team this year, but neither is North Carolina. I know they beat Duke, but it's like a matchup between two bad teams. What's the line? I mean, they're not bad teams, just not teams not as good as their hype. It's North Carolina -4. I think that sounds about right. I'm surprised North Carolina's ranked. Talk about being ranked solely because of the name on your jersey. Man, I don't see how we come back from 12 down in this game. I told you all those missed layups in the beginning was going to come back to bite us. We're down by 15. I might end the stream early. No, I'm joking. After the game was over, well, I mean, the refs missed it. You know, if I don't have any issue with the refs missing something like that. I don't have any issue with that, but yeah, they did the right thing. I mean, you can miss things like that in the game. It happens, but they made it right. All right, Indiana's down 4. Indiana cut it to 1. And they have a chance to take the lead here. Wow, Michigan's totally fallen apart. Wow. And, oh, okay. So Indiana's going to go to the line with a chance to take the lead. No, we're not going to make a comeback. I don't think so. We're not a team that's built to make a comeback like this. This is exactly how the game played out in Fort Worth when we played Texas. Does Michigan get in the tourney if they lose this game? I mean, it's going to be close. Going to be very close. But they're losing now. I think Michigan's safer than Indiana. Like, Michigan, I think, can afford to lose this game. I don't think Indiana can. I don't really read books. I can't remember the last book I read. I might have read some nonfiction books, but I don't read a lot of I don't remember the last fiction book I read. Is it better to take favorites or dogs? I mean, both. It depends on what you're. It depends on the metrics. In the first round, like I said, it depends on the metrics. It's a game by game. If you blind bet favorites or dogs, you're gonna lose every time. Long run. All right, Michigan's back up by 1. All right, the last 4 minutes of this game should be interesting. Is there any other interesting scores? Man, Syracuse is up by 6. I'm surprised. But like I said, Syracuse is just a different team in a tournament format. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but that 2-3 zone can really throw you off. Appreciate it, Joe McMillian. But no, I'm just not a reader. I'm not. I can't remember the last fiction book I read. It's been a while. Everything's in commercial right now. All right. Not Indiana. Indiana, Michigan's about to go to commercial, though. So Indiana's going to go to the last timeout up 3. This has been a total epic collapse by Michigan. Like, I don't know what's going on, but Indiana's down 17, and they're up 3 now. Three potential upsets right now. Indiana over Michigan, Syracuse over Duke, and Butler over Providence. I mean, they're still emailing me, Joe McMillian, but not anything major. I haven't responded to them. I mean, I don't really care. I don't even care enough to respond. I don't care enough to respond. Man, these Wendy's commercials. I mean, I like Wendy's, I do, but I've never had their breakfast. I don't really eat breakfast, though. If I'm going to eat breakfast food, I'm not going to get it from a fast food restaurant. I'm going to go to somewhere like Waffle House or IHOP or somewhere where it actually has breakfast food that's good. I mean, I do like McDonald's breakfast. It's not, it's. But like I said, I'm just not a big breakfast guy. I don't eat breakfast during the week. I never eat breakfast. All right, Michigan has missed their last 12 field goals. And they just turned the ball over. He threw it right over. Like, Michigan had a guy posted up, and number 55 for Michigan just throws it right over his head. I guess Michigan's just not a well-coached team. And Indiana's up 5 now. But I still don't think this gets Indiana in if they win. I don't. It really depends on what else happens. So Indiana's on a 26-4 run in the last 8 minutes. Okay, there's a mismatch, and Michigan turned the ball over again. No, they're going to give it back to Indiana. But they're going to get it back to Michigan. But it looks Michigan's number 1 almost turned it over, and it went off Indiana. Good call. And oh man. Shot clock down to 6 for Michigan. They're going to have to throw something up. Number 1 shoots a 3 and no good. Michigan is just ice cold right now. And there's a hurt player for Indiana, so they're going to stop the game with 2 minutes left. Indiana has the ball. What a meltdown by Michigan. What a total meltdown. Maybe this can happen in the TCU game. I doubt it, but maybe. Michigan's playing a 2-3 zone. And Indiana's up 7. That might have been the dagger. Isn't that the whole point of playing a zone, to prevent easy looks like that? I'll probably go for another. I mean, I'll probably go until like the. Let's see. Like my plan was to do the stream until the end of the TCU game, but since it's a blowout, I might end it sooner. Maybe the end of this Providence game, unless TCU can pull an Indiana and rally. Yeah, Air 403 just means there's really not much you can do to get past Air 403. That means you just don't have access. You don't have the access. I mean, there's really not much you can do about that, sadly. All right, Duke just tied it up. All right, Michigan has to hit a shot here or they're done. Oh, their last 13, and they just made one, so they stopped that. 5-point game, 1:40 left. Yeah, the ACC was just bad this year, and Duke has good players, but their defense seems off. Something's wrong with their defense. Oh, and Indiana turns the ball over, leaving the door open for Michigan. Here comes a 3 for Michigan. No, that was not even close. That transition 3 looked horrible. Michigan's in their own head right now. Man, Michigan had a fast break and they pull up for a 3 and he got nowhere close. 1 minute left. 5-point game. 32. Misses. All right, so Michigan, you got to hit a shot here. 5-point game. There's a 3 for Michigan that went in. So it's a 2-point game, 44 seconds. Indiana ball. Yeah, Duke's defense, I just don't think it's good enough. All right, what do you do if you're Indiana? What do you do if you're Michigan here? Do you press? I mean, this just seems like the type of game that Indiana would lose. It just does. I know they're up 2 with 44 seconds left in the ball. I remember we used to do bracket tournaments when I was in school, like middle school, and it was like a $5 entry fee, and we'd have to collect the people that wouldn't pay. I've never won a bracket pool before. I don't really do them much anymore, but I did them in high school, college, middle school. I've never won one. Even though I'm probably like the most person who watches the most college basketball out of, the people I would join them with. Oh, Indiana guy traveled and they didn't call it. Desperation shot at the shot clock buzzer. Okay, Michigan's going to have the ball. 12 seconds. Oh, they turned it over. Michigan turned it over in transition. They're going to review it, but Michigan forced the stop. They just could not get a handle on the ball. They're going to review it, but good on the Indiana player for not giving up. Jeez. So number 14 for Michigan just got the ball swatted out of his hand. That's on you, 14 for Michigan. It's on you. Indiana player came up from behind and just knocked it out. That's why you don't hold the ball up high like that after a rebound. That's why you secure it low. I mean, I haven't played basketball since I was 12, and I even know that. Hold the ball down here. He was holding up here, and the Indiana player just knocks it out. I ultimately, I think Michigan is in no matter what. Do I think they should be? Probably not. But ultimately, I would say yes. Let me just go over the resume one more time. We already talked about Indiana, and I was like, Indiana, I don't even know if they're in with a win today, but Michigan is going to be close. The win over San Diego State is good. They did beat Indiana on the road. They have wins over Purdue at home, Iowa, Rutgers, Michigan State, Ohio State. So I think Michigan's in. Yeah, I think they're going to be in even with a loss. Can't say the same for Indiana, though. All right, so Michigan does decide to foul. This is going to be a 1-1 for Indiana. All right, here comes the free throw. He made it. So one more free throw. One more free throw. This is a big free throw because there's 9 seconds left. And he made it, so it's going to be a 4. I just don't know if there's enough time left for Michigan. Yeah, they're taking too much time. No sense of urgency at all. And he missed, so Indiana's going to win. I don't know. I still think it's not a sure thing that Indiana's going to get in, but they did help themselves today. They did help themselves. All right, I'm going to turn on the Duke game. Oh, a moving screen on Texas, and they're not going to call it. They're not going to call a moving screen. Yeah, I think Indiana. They are not calling illegal screens on Texas. That's just sad. Yeah, I think Gonzaga's earned the right to not be criticized for their conference anymore. I still think the Mountain West should invite them as a basketball-only member, but the Mountain West won't do that. I think Gonzaga likes the arrangement they have, to be honest with you. They're a big fish in a small pond, and they pretty much control the entire conference. I mean, BYU leaving is going to hurt a little bit. Some teams stepped up this year. San Francisco and Santa Clara stepped up this year, but the bottom is still bad in that conference. But I think Gonzaga likes their arrangement. All right, TCU's cut it to 12. We were down by 20. It's a 12-point game. Maybe we can pull it Indiana. I doubt it, though, because, like I said, the refs aren't calling illegal screens on Texas. All right, Duke. Man, every time it looks like Duke's about to pull away, number 0 for Syracuse hits a 3. Gosh, that was a tough shot Texas just made to stop our run. Yeah, every time it looks like Duke's about to pull away. Man, Butler's still ahead of Providence. Like I said, Providence has been doing this all year. I wouldn't overreact. Man, we cannot get out of our own way with the turnovers. Fast break. Man, if Mike Miles goes for a layup there instead of the dunk, then he's going to the line for an and one. All right. Duke, man, they're just leaving the door open for Syracuse here. Leaving the door open. Man, missing both free throws. Their NBA lottery pick misses 2 free throws. And here comes a 3 for Syracuse. No good. And number 11 for Syracuse is called for the foul on the rebound. Joseph Garrard III. But going back to Gonzaga, I think Gonzaga would rather be in the West Coast Conference where they're able to call all the shots. The entire league is organized to protect them and carry their water, than go to like the Mountain West and not have that same setup. Big 3 for Duke right there. But here we go. Duke hits a big 3. It looks like you're getting ready to pull away, and then someone for Syracuse hits a 3 to respond. Number 0 or number 11? All right, number 11 just missed. All right, haven't seen much of that today. 3 for Duke. Nope, but rebound by number 15, and it goes off of his leg, and Syracuse is going to have the ball. See, Duke cannot pull away. Butler's up by 6 with 9 to go. I'm telling you, Providence has been doing this all year. That's why they're number 1 in KenPom in luck. I don't think Providence is that good of a team, but they find a way to win. That's the thing, Yeah, the metrics say they're a lucky team and all that, but they find a way to win, and that goes a long way in basketball, is finding ways to win. Yeah, it might not be pretty, but you're a winner. Which game are you watching, Jonah Mickelson? Because I'm on a delay, so whatever I narrate should be behind. Man, it's snowing in Kansas City. It's supposed to snow here tomorrow, I think. Yeah, tomorrow. Usually don't get snow this late in March. Man, I told you if Miles goes for the layup there instead of the dunk, he doesn't miss that free throw. He made the second one, though, but still, he could have gotten and one. Okay, no push-off call on number 5 for Texas. I see how it is. And we forced a contested 3 for Texas, and we didn't rebound. That's probably why you're so far behind. Do you have any bets out, Jonah? All right, we cut it to 11. So we've cut the lead in half. We're definitely playing better defense this half. The only shots that Texas has made have been 2 free throws and a very tough 2-point jumper at the end of the shot clock. So we've done a better job at defending. That was a very questionable out-of-bounds call against us. Very questionable. But oh well, it is what it is. All right, our defense has been awesome this half. Take it, O'Bannon. Oh, he got fouled. They fouled the 3-point shooter. All right, we're going to the line for 3 free throws. Man, missed the free throws. Missed the free throws. All right. Can cut it to 9 if he makes this one. All right. 9-point game. Our defense just needs to keep playing like nails. Oh, we forced a turnover. But our guy couldn't hold on to the ball. He stripped it. He just couldn't hold on. You can get TCU money line at 9.25. I mean, probably a good price. We've definitely solved things on defense. Like, they just hit a shot. Texas just hit a shot, their second of the half, but it was contested. It was well defended. Man. Our guy just threw it way out of bounds. Ugh. He threw that like 10 feet over our guy's head. I don't know what kind of pass that was. All right, Duke and Syracuse is going. Here comes number 11 for Syracuse, who's hit all these shots. And number 0 hits another shot for Syracuse. That's what he's done all day. All right, Duke with the big shot for number 0. We cannot convert our offensive rebounds into points. It's probably not too late. It's just probably not going to be very robust. Duke has serious defensive problems. Let's just face it. Let's be real. Duke has defensive issues. Yeah, because, that's why Jonah Mickelson, the real stat that you use is offensive rebounding percentage, which is the percentage of missed shots that you rebound. But yeah, a high number of offensive rebounds is not necessarily good because it could mean a high number of missed shots. So that's why you'll see Ken Pom and all those guys use offensive rebounding percentage. Much better stat. And the number 1 team in the nation in offensive rebounding percentage is TCU. It seems like this Syracuse and Duke game has been between 2 and 5 points like the entire second half. There's a 3-pointer from 11, good. So it's a 1-point game now. Number 11 just in number 0 for Syracuse. Has anyone else scored for Syracuse? They need to bring the ACC tournament back to Greensboro. I don't like how it's in Brooklyn. Let the Big East have Brooklyn or New York City. Man, this Providence game is going to come down to the wire as well. like all their games have. Yep, that's keeping the door open, the free throws. Oh yeah, there's a reason offensive rebounding percentage is considered one of the 4 factors in a basketball. It's just crazy how, but the problem with TCU, they lead the nation in offensive rebounding percentage, but we're just not a good shooting team, so those don't really translate to, it doesn't translate to anything. Our effective field goal percentage is 48%. And our turnover percentage is 21%. So we miss a lot of shots and we turn the ball over a lot. Shoot it. Okay, we just made a 3 at the shot clock, so maybe that'll give us some momentum. It's a 10-point game. Got to get a stop here. How you doing, Lori Schultz? It's been a decent day so far. All right, we forced a wild 3 at the shot clock buzzer. Let's cut it to 8. Let's cut it to 8. Oh, come on, ref. Okay, he called the foul. I was about to say, they didn't call that. Well, the 4 factors in basketball are offensive rebounding percentage, turnover percentage, effective field goal percentage, and free throw rate. Those are the 4 factors. Have I thought about creating a Patreon? I mean, I have. I mean, you can do YouTube memberships, which is the same thing as Patreon and everything, but I haven't done it just because I feel like charging people money for content would mean an expectation. Like, the audience that pays for it would have a certain expectation. And honestly, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to be obligated to put out content. I mean, a lot of people are like, well, you could just do like a Patreon or YouTube membership just for people to contribute and not expect anything in return, which I could do, but still, it's just one of those things. Maybe I will one day. All right, 8-point game, and we did not defend, and it's a 10-point game again. There's a 3. Good. We're down by 7. We're down 7. Oh, we forced a turnover. Let's bring it to 5. Oh. How is that not a foul? I mean, we had a fast break and they fouled our guy. We're gonna have the ball, but still, that's a foul. I'm sorry. Jamie Dixon has every right to be upset about that. That is a foul. All right, Duke Syracuse. Oh, Syracuse took the lead. Wow. Take the 3, ball. Boom! 4-point game. 4-point game. 4-point game. They just left him wide open to take that 3. He set his feet, took his time and everything. I'm surprised Texas hasn't called a timeout. Like, we're on a run right now. If we stop him here and he tripped our guy. He tripped our guy. Oh, what a block. What a block. Yes. All right. Still, he tripped our guy. That should have been a foul. I'm sorry. You cannot trip a guy like that. That's bullcrap. Yeah, and our guy is like hurt because he got tripped and he's just laying in the middle of the floor. How is that? He tripped. And that's our best player who's on the floor right now writhing in pain because he got tripped. Look at that. That's a foul. He put his feet up. He put his feet up. Like, he put his feet up in the air to trip our guy, and they didn't call it. Wow. Ridiculous. He's holding his knee. Like, we're going to the NCAA tournament regardless of this game. Oh, yeah, he's our number one player, but he's an NBA prospect. If we go to the NCAA tournament without him, whoever plays us in the first round is going to have an easy go at it. I mean, it's not like we can't win without him because we've won games this year where he's gone, like, scored no points. He even sat out. I think when we won at Oklahoma, I don't even think he played. But we're going to need him if we're going to play in the NCAA tournament. Looks like he's going to the locker room. Carried off to the locker room. Nice. It's 48-52. Okay, that's a foul. Good Lord, this is bad. This is bad. I'm sorry. Like, our guy literally got pancaked on the inbound pass. No call. No call. Stupid. Look at Miller get pancaked, right? They're showing the replay. He got absolutely pancaked like an offensive lineman, and they didn't call a foul. I'm glad ESPN just showed the replay on that. That's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. I'm sorry. That's absurd. We're going to the free throw line to cut it to 2, but still. All right, first one's good. A 3-point game. He missed the second one, so it's a 3-point game. I'm surprised he made one of those free throws considering how he got destroyed on that inbounds pass. All right, keep playing defense. Oh, we forced the miss and just couldn't rebound. That's a tough one. We forced a very tough shot, couldn't rebound, and they missed the 3, though. Okay, we can tie the game here. We can tie the game here. There's the 3. Tie game. Oh, he can make those, too. How is that off on us? How is that off on us? There's like 3 Texas players in the vicinity there. No, I think we can. What's your bet, Jonah? Oh, yeah, I would cash out, definitely, Jonah. If you can cash out for double your wager, absolutely. I know getting the plus 925 would sting if we end up winning, but we're at a disadvantage without Mike Miles, even though our defense is the reason we've come back and not because of Miles. Come on, come on. Good possession here. Come on. Boom. 1 point game. 1 point game. 1 point game. Come on. Keep playing defense like we have all half. Like, our defense has been nails this half. And there's the timeout by Chris Beard. All right, Duke's up by 9. What happened? I, stopped paying attention for, 1 minute, and Duke's all of a sudden up by a lot. What happened? Did, one of their players just start hitting threes or something? I'm going to turn on the Butler game. You're going to let it ride? Why not at the game, Eagles 0-1? Because it's a Thursday. It's just hard to... I didn't want to take any days off work. And also gas prices, driving to Kansas City, that's... With gas prices as they are now, that's just too much. Jonah Mickelson, that'll be a big hit, though, if TCU can win. Plus 925. Butler's up by 3. Oh, Providence just got the and 1, though. Is Providence going to win another nail-biter? At some point, the luck has to run out for Providence, right? Has to. Has Sac State, Montana State started yet? Oh, it has. Crap. That's a big game. Just like Iona and Toledo, Montana State has all the pressure on them out there in the Big Sky. I'm telling you. We'll see what they can do. And Sac State played them close in both games this year. And Sac State's up by 8. I'm telling you, these 1 seeds, all the pressure's on them. It's hard to play with all that pressure. Montana State, 2 for 9. Sac State, 6 for 13. Sac State's out rebounding them 11-3. I'm telling you guys, all the pressure. I feel bad for Montana State. Although the thing with the Big Sky is Montana State won the league. They're the best team according to the metrics, but there's some good. They're not head and shoulders above the rest of the Big Sky, like for example Towson was in the CAA, or Longwood or Iona were in their conferences. Southern Utah, Northern Colorado, Weber State, they're all very capable. So even though Montana's a 1 seed and we're the best team, it's still less than 50% that they're going to come away with it. Just like the MAC and with Toledo. All right, come on, defense. Keep doing what you've been doing. Oh, he traveled, ref. Thank you. They finally called something on Texas. Finally. He walked. Okay, Mike Miles is coming back in, Jonah Mickelson. Or wait, I don't know if he's coming back in. It's a media timeout. My bad. Maybe he's not coming back in. Travel. He traveled. They finally call. You're riding with me, Jonah Mickelson. We're on this together. Although I have no money. Although Eagles 01 wanted to know if I have any bets today. I don't. So I'm just watching this as a fan. We've only played in the semifinals of the Big 12 tournament once, and that was in 2017 when we beat KU in the quarterfinal. And that was when I was moving from Seattle to Kentucky. So when we beat Kansas that day, I had detoured my drive from Seattle to Kentucky to go to Kansas City and watch us play Iowa State in the semifinals and get destroyed. It was worth it, though. Because, like, if Kansas loses in the Big 12 tournament, like, since it's in Kansas City, like, 70% of the fans are Kansas fans. And so they're all trying to dump their tickets for the rest of the tournament after they lost to us. And I got, like, a ticket for $2. But Iowa State fans turned out en masse. It was crazy. There's no wonder we got beat so bad. So are they going to take this shot off the board for Butler? Oh, Florida almost came back against A&M. It's a 1-point game there. Wow, it was a 15-point game with 3 minutes left, and now it's a 2-point game, the Florida A&M game. Wow. I had written that off. I think the Butler player stepped out of bounds. Looks like he did. All right, we're going to have a chance to take the lead here. All right, Providence down 1 with the ball. Yeah, no, Georgetown lost to Seton Hall. All right, Providence is no sense of urgency here. I mean, they're down 1. They have time. 3-pointer from Providence, good. 2-point lead for the Friars. Wide open in the corner, number 1 for Providence. Wide open. All right, TCU has the basket. Okay, Miles is back in, Jonah. He is back in. Let's see how his ankle holds up. All right. What are we going to do when Hulkamania runs wild on you? All right, take him, Emmanuel. Take him. You got him. This is a mismatch. Take him all the way. And 1, baby. And 1. Boom. He took it. That was a mismatch. He'd take him all the way. And 1, baby. All right. Got to make this free throw, though. Finish it off. Don't miss a free throw. Come on. Great comeback, but got to finish. Keep playing defense. I missed the free throw. Dang it. I'm telling you, we've missed so many easy layups and free throws today. Push off. Number 3 pushed off. That's 5 seconds, ref. That was 5 seconds. All right, looks like Butler's finished. Of course, Texas hits their free throws. That's how they beat us in Austin a couple weeks ago. They took like 20 more free throws than we did and made most of them. I want to say they shot 30 free throws and we shot 9 or something like that. All right, we're down by 1 again. All the momentum gone. Take it. Take it. There it is. I got to make that. Got to finish the offensive rebound, Eddie. Come on, man. Don't tap it in. Grab the ball and then put it in. Illegal screen? Are they not going to call illegal screens today? What a block. What a block. Take it all the way. Or not, you don't have numbers. Oh, and they call an illegal screen on us? They called an illegal screen on us when they've been doing it all game? How is that an illegal screen on? They've been doing it all game. Wow. So Providence won. What's going on right now? That's all Providence does is win close games. That's all they do. Florida and A&M are tied. I'm going to turn that game on. SEC Network. That was a 15-point game with like 3 minutes left, I think. All right, Texas finally misses a free throw. About time. So they're going to overtime in the Florida Texas A&M game. Oh, they missed them both. All right. That's a foul. All right. Are we really in the bonus? No, we're not. Oh, yeah, we are. Okay, we're in the bonus, which isn't good because we can't make free throws. So we're going to the free throw line, but I guarantee you we're going to miss the front end of the one-on-one. If I were to put a line on it, I'd say miss the front end of a one-on-one minus 200. Here it comes. Oh, we made it. All right, I would have lost that bet. All right, tie game. Come on. By the way, they're having the American Conference Tournament like 2 miles behind where I'm pointing, and I'm not going to go because I have too much basketball to go on to go. I like to absorb all of Champ Week. If I'm at a game, I can't watch it all. Come on, keep defending. Keep playing good defense. Man, that was a tough shot Texas just made. Give them credit. They're making tough shots. Number 0 just made a tough shot. I don't even think Mike Miles has shot the ball since coming back in the game. That was a dangerous pass, Emmanuel. Here's a shot from Miles. Oh, that was an air ball. Maybe it's not good. I don't know if that was blocked or not, though, but that didn't look good. Man, Florida. I want to see what the exact. So it was with 3 minutes left. A&M was up by 12. They're up by 13 with 5 minutes left, and 12 with 3 minutes left. And Florida just came back. Yeah, I don't know if Mike Miles should play the rest of this game because you know he's going to be a defensive liability. I like this story about Brittany Griner and like how people are trying to twist it into the how the WNBA needs to pay their players more. I'm like, the problem with that is that the WNBA does not make a profit. So how much should they be paid? If the WNBA loses money every year, I mean, they lose millions of dollars every year. If the NBA didn't subsidize the WNBA, it wouldn't even exist. So how much should they be paid? That's what I want to know. How much? If the WNBA loses a lot of money, like how much should they be paid NBA salaries, and then the league loses hundreds of millions every year? You know, how much should they be paid? Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly, Mario Luigi. You know, I'm seeing all these people on Twitter and stuff like, this Brittany Griner wouldn't, if she got paid more in the WNBA, she wouldn't be have to playing basketball in Russia. And I'm like, so how much should WNBA players get paid? First of all, their season is like half the length of the NBA season, and second of all, the league loses a lot of money. Well, Jonah Mickelson, I think gambling could make the WNBA more profitable, but you've been able to bet on the WNBA for a long time, and I just don't know if that's going to make a difference. But it does have a window of opportunity if baseball can't get its crap together. All right, 20 seconds on the shot clock for Texas here. Got to defend the inbound. That's 5 seconds, ref. That is 5 seconds. Seemed like 5 seconds to me. Yeah, they took Miles out. I think they should have. Missed 3. All right, come on. Let's get a good shot here on offense. Yeah, I just don't know if I would play Mike Miles for the rest of this game. Not because of his offense, but because of defense. Timeout TCU. All right. Timeout right after a timeout. Are they calling timeout to get Miles in? Yeah, so they called a timeout to put Mike Miles in. I guess on offense, but I worry about his ability to play defense because he know UT's going to try to go after him. You just have to wonder if mentally, like, he'll be able to hit these shots that he's going to be asked to hit. Well, I honestly believe that a average men's high school basketball team would beat a WNBA team. I do. Like my high school, I didn't play high school basketball, but I know the types of guys who did play basketball at my high school. They would destroy a WNBA team. Like we had some pretty good players. I mean, we had a couple guys. We had a guy go to Texas Tech. We had a guy go to University of San Diego. We had a couple guys play for North Texas, and we had one guy play for Centenary when they were still Division I. So I mean, we had good. Oh, we turned it over. Dang it! And then Texas. No, that's not a foul on us. Man, too much dribbling. I mean, I still think that went out on Texas, but that was too much dribbling. I mean, we kind of created the conditions for that turnover to occur, even though I do think it went out on Texas. Yeah, too much dribbling. But yeah, my high school basketball team would have killed a WNBA team. Like, I just don't see how a WNBA team would be able to beat a full court press. Wide open three for Texas. Good. Wide open. Wide open. I think that might have been the dagger. I think we blew it with that turnover out of the timeout. I mean, we called a timeout for that turnover. Wide open under the basket for a dunk. All right, 2-point game. That was good offense right there. Like, I just know that when I worked for TCU basketball, like I did more women's than men, but out on Texas, yes. But the TCU women's basketball coaches would like scout the rec center for like pickup games, and they would get like guys playing these pickup games to play like scout team for the women's basketball team, and they would have to send a lot of these guys home because they were too good. So they would pick like guys who weren't very good to play scout team against our women. All right, 2-point game, 1:40 left. Need a good possession. That's a foul. Thank you. I was about to say, you can't shove your fist in a guy's throat, but here's the problem. We got to make free throws, and I just don't trust our ability to make free throws. I don't. If this comes down to a free throw shooting contest, we're not going to win. Front end of the 1-and-1, good. All right, 1-point game. We can tie it up right here. Man, I thought we were done after they hit that 3 to go at 4. I really did. But all right, Florida and A&M are tied also. All right, come on, Dame. We got to hit this free throw. I missed it. But we got the rebound. All right. Take it. That's a foul, ref. All right, we're ahead. They didn't call a foul, but we got the rebound after the blatant foul to take the lead. All right, come on. Watch Texas hit like a tough contested shot here like they've done all game every time we've taken the lead. They're going to throw up some three-pointer at the shot clock buzzer. It'll go in. How we left a guy wide open under the basket. We left a guy wide open, but we fouled him, but we just can't get that stop. Like every time we take the lead, we just can't get that stop. All right. How good of a free throw? He's a 71% free throw shooter, but he's 2 for 6 today. So maybe he's in his own head. He made the first one with no problem. Man, we just can't get that stop. We left the guy open. All right, let's see if we can get a miss here. Free throws up and no good. All right, tie game, 1 minute left. Come on, let's get a good possession here. Don't turn the ball over. That's all I ask. Just don't turn it over. Let's get a good possession. We had to burn a timeout because our guy was trapped. Last timeout too. Texas still has 2. All right. A&M and Florida is coming down to the wire as well. Let's check on Montana State. Montana State is up by 3 now, so it looks like they weathered that early storm, at least for now. But I said the same thing about Toledo. This one's coming down to the wire, guys. Texas and TCU. I think we need to get a shot off sooner rather than later because I don't want Texas to have a turned off shot clock. That's not what we want. So I think we need to draw something up to get a shot up in 5 seconds or preferably sooner. Just so we have a chance to man, Reddit bans me as like I tried to make a new Reddit account and they banned it immediately. They must have my IP banned. Ooh, A&M just missed a layup to tie the game. All right. What are we going to do out of this timeout? Please be a set play. Please be a set. There it is. There it is. Get it up. Get it up. There it is. There it is. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, set play out of bounds, just like I called it. We got the shot off within 3 seconds. I love it. Pick and roll. Oh, man, that was perfectly executed. That was beautiful. That's something you put on like a videotape on a clinic on how to do set plays out of bounds. And we forced a stop on the other end finally, and they're going to have to start fouling. They're going to have to start fouling. Oh, we have an open guy. They need to foul. They need to foul. Okay, there we go. All right. Dude, Jonah, how you feeling? How you feeling, Jonah? Are you glad I told you to take the 925? It's not over yet. I mean, we have to hit free throws, but this is actually our best free throw shooter going to the line right now. Man, A&M just turned the ball over. Man, I'm telling you, that play out of the timeout we ran was a thing of beauty. Ugh, that's like something you put on a, like I said, like on a video on like that you use to like coaching clinics and stuff like that. They totally bit on our point guard and left our post wide open under the basket. Man, Florida's coach is mad. He's screaming at the refs. All right, we got to hit these free throws. But fortunately, like our best free throw shooter's at the line. It's a 1-and-1. Can't miss it. What are they looking at? They're looking at something. I don't know what they're looking at. I'm going to turn the volume up.
Losing teams last year. Like, I think they played a really good first half. They got soft at halftime. And, you know, when it's winning time, like a Marcus Carr has been a no-show. There just hasn't been that competitive winning mentality out of Texas that guy, that head coach, of course, has had teams that have displayed that.
All right, first free throw's good. Yeah, 89% free throw shooter. I mean, but he just doesn't go to the line a lot. But this is the guy that we send to the free throw line for technical fouls. All right, Florida and A&M, 80 to 80, 35 seconds left in overtime. Florida has the ball. Hasn't gotten it over midcourt yet, just did. Looks like A&M is running a man defense. It looks like they're not switching on screens. 14 seconds on the shot clock. 24 takes a three at the top of the key. It's stuck. Possession arrow is A&M. So A&M's going to have 16 seconds left to take the last shot in overtime. All right, big free throw here. Big free throw.
It'll be a 1-and-1 opportunity for the Texas Longhorns. Again, Farabello, 89% from the free throw line.
He made it. All right, 4-point game.
Huge free throw from Francisco Farabello, the junior from Argentina. Texas has to hurry. Down by 4. Jones for 3.
Nope. All right. I think we got this in the bag, Jonah. Jonah, I think we got this in the bag. All right. High fives all around.
Schedule and the losses that they took during that period, you know, they showed a lot in the win over Kansas. Finished the year with the 2 losses, Rich. But I thought it tested their mettle the way they finished conference play, and I thought it showed up here in the second half.
Damian Long misses advances to the Big 12 Championship semifinals for the second time in program history.
Oh, A&M won at the buzzer. A&M won at the buzzer. Plus 925 for Jonah. Congratulations, Jonah. Ball game. A&M won at the buzzer, by the way. All right. Frogs win. Frogs win. Defense led the way.
He was excellent. 35 minutes of the game, had 4 assists, and just really was, I thought, their heart and soul in the second half. The Horned Frogs
Frogs win. All right, guys. I said I'd do the stream to the end of our game. Whoops. I said I'd do the stream to the end of our game. And no, I have to actually do work. Like I've been working, but like I actually need to focus. And also I need to run a couple errands too. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going pretty much all day tomorrow and Saturday, guys. So you'll get plenty of streams with me. Oh yeah, we'll play. And I thought we, just like with the Texas, the reason we lost to Kansas and Lawrence was because they just shot like a ton more free throws than we did. But yeah, great win for us. So guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to everyone who actually I got a lot more views. 419 views on the stream. That was more than I was expecting, considering, you know, it's early and people are working, have things to do. But I'll be back all day tomorrow, all day Saturday, and then Selection Show Sunday. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. You've been watching Sports